Do you know how overprotective parents affect children's lives? There is an effect. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about overprotective parents. Overprotective parents can have different effects on children depending on the child, really. That's important for us to understand. In this video, we're going to be talking about the different ways that overprotective parents can impact children based upon their varied personalities and methods of processing. Some children do not want responsibility. Some children do not want anything to go wrong ever. They're more perfectionistic. And if their parent overprotects and makes everything go right, that could seem like their happy place, their comfy place, and they'll never step out of their comfort zone. Does that sound like a healthy thing? The parent may love it because everything turns out picture perfect for the child. But if we really look at real life, we know that it's not always going to be picture perfect. There have to be some hardships, some trials, some challenges. And if the child never gets the opportunity to face those, then the child will not feel very confident when some hardships come that they couldn't have control over or their parent couldn't have control over. Some children, when they are reaching those adulthood years, are having a struggle with anxiety and with problem solving at higher levels. Could this be because they were overprotected? There are a lot of people studying this and assuming that there could be a correlation there between being overprotected and not feeling like you are secure in yourself. You're not secure with other people. You don't know how to handle your problems. This is another way to just describe anxiety. Of course, everyone has some anxiety, but we are seeing higher levels of anxiety, and the correlation between the way that the child was parented is very interesting. So another thing that could happen if a child is overprotected is the child could decide that they are not getting their proper development. They could look at things other children are able to do, other daring things, risky things, and they could feel like they are not being allowed to develop properly. Maybe your child processes with a little bit more of a rebellious tendency, or they like to test and question things on a regular basis. Then they're going to want to try things, make mistakes. And if they're not allowed to do those things, they might pull away from the parent. Even when they're still at home, they might stop opening up to the parent. They might guard things from the parent, so omit things. That's a type of dishonesty or lying. They might not share things with the parent and have good open communication, which could impact their bond. And ultimately, the parent could start to feel like they don't trust the child because the child feels like they don't trust the parent. If the child does not get the opportunity to stretch and grow enough, they start wanting to take that on for themselves, and they distance themselves from their parents and choose to not share things. That could actually be really damaging to a relationship for a lifetime if it's not identified and taken care of. Some young people, when they reach adulthood, if they feel like they did not get the proper opportunity to explore things, get curious about things, maybe even do things wrong and make mistakes, they might feel like their parents actually are damaging for their lives. They might feel like their parents are suffocating them. In fact, that's a term that's used sometimes by young people, that their parents are suffocating them. So then they start to pull away. By the time they get to the college years, or maybe even a little bit after the college years, when they're no longer financially dependent upon their parents, they start thinking that they need what they call boundaries, pulling away from the parent because the parent has micromanage too many things in their life. At that point, what's going to happen with the relationship? Is the child actually mature enough to know what is a healthy boundary and what might potentially be an unhealthy boundary? because there are some times where it might be needed to have a more rigid boundary than others, but are they able to really discern that? That's difficult for them if they've never really been part of a healthy family relationship with someone, because somebody else has always been controlling. Also, once this child reaches parenthood and they've got children of their own, are they going to be overly stressed and anxious as they parent their children? Or are they going to go to the flip side and say, you know what, I was so overprotected, I'm not going to protect you on anything, and I think you're going to turn out fine. There is a likelihood of both of those scenarios because they don't understand why things were done to them. When a child is overprotected, they hear a lot of fear, 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 fear. And then when they reach adulthood and they recognize they can actually manage some of those things themselves, they don't have enough information to make a lot of their decisions with. And so usually they use their emotions to solve their problems, to make their decisions, and to form their opinions. So by and large, we have to come to the conclusion that being overprotective of children is not a good idea. Now, I think parents struggle understanding what is actually overprotective and what is not overprotective. When is it micromanaging and when is it good teaching? And if you've been micromanaged and overprotected, you might have a struggle figuring that out. I recommend watching my next video for more help on this topic. That video is called How Parental Conflict Affects Children.